Team Six. We are the team behind MiniDOGE, of course. So, of course, we have in-house developers and team members, as well as outsourced developers as well that we utilize here, just due to the nature and the size and the just the all the integral pieces that's going into MiniDOGE and mini pets. So myself background, kind of I've known these people here for the last, I'd say, 7 years, 6, 7 years. Managed, a lot of relationships, partnerships. One of the biggest that we have is probably Amazon. So, a pretty huge partnership managed with that. And of course, just managing everything here on this side, partnerships, some pretty big partnerships that we have actually going into mini pets that we will be partnering with people and all kind of things. So, very excited about everything that we're doing. Like I said, just happy for you guys to welcome us on here. And like I said, a lot of people have heard about MiniDOGE. A lot of people, there's more people that have not, that have, well, how do I want to say it? There's more people that have heard about MiniDOGE that, of course, have not heard about MiniDOGE. So it's very cool. How do you guys want to format the AMA? Do you guys just want me to kind of give a brief rundown of kind of, our journey, kind of where we came from, in regards to launching mini Doge to where we're at today to where we're going, and then a Q&A. Do you guys want to open up with kind of a Q&A and kind of guide it that way? Kind of tell me how you guys want this formatted so I can give you the best, of course, content and material for your group here, for this AMA.
Yeah, so that sounds good to us. Obviously, the origins of such a big project, they're important. It'd be fantastic for us to hear about those. Um, Obviously, you're very good at handling and dealing with the things that you do. Congratulations on all the success so far. And yeah, by all means, if you have a certain structure that you like to follow in your AMAs, we're here to listen.
Absolutely, and thank you for those kind words. So, many Doge, let's start, of course, with many Doge kind of got started. Of course, one of our first projects, well, our first project was actually, Pi, and doing that. And, somewhere along the way, of course, it was kind of when the, Doge themed coins and everything kind of got going. So, of course, you had Doge itself, and of course, you have like Baby Doge and all these other Doges, and we're like, wait, there's no mini. There is no mini. There was a mama, there was a papa, there's all these other different things going, and there is no mini. And then we kind of also started looking into like an Axie Infinity and then Wanaka, and just seeing a lot of Wanaka forms and a lot of different things that we could do with this project. And we felt that it would be huge, knowing the meme culture, the meme nature, and just how worldwide everyone is kind of adopting the Doge, Doge theme and a Doge name. So that's kind of how we came about the idea, of course, with mini Doge, and then going into mini pets was kind of like, how can we make this utility? Because things that we do, and I don't know if you guys realize, is with any of our projects that we are doing, like I said, with Pi, with Mini, with Moon Forest, any project that we build, we want it to be an actual product that people can actually use in day to day, whether it be day to day, whether it be people just in crypto, whether it be users outside of cryptocurrency. We want it to be actually something. So we don't just want to throw something out there and say, hey, cool, kind of look at us, yes, great, call it a day. We want to actually build and actually develop something, which is why we are developing, of course, mini pets. And of course, we have something that we, kind of introduced to the roadmap in regards to Dogex, which is kind of going to be a swap with all Doge themed coins. It's going to have, pools, farming, staking, those kind of things. So it'll be a swap. And also, we have our NFTs, and our NFTs are going to be real game assets that you can utilize inside of mini pets. So kind of adopting the Axie Infinity kind of approach to what they're doing. And I'm sure you guys probably know Axie Infinity, and if you don't, they're just a huge project that kind of blew up here. And they're really doing a lot of great things within Axie Infinity. So we're really kind of going off of that, but putting our own spin and nature to it, of course, with the revenue back to holders and all those kind of things. And we're also developing our mini game series, which is what we're utilizing to also generate revenue to to be able to reflect that back to our holders. Because at the end of the day, that's what we're all about here with Dev Team Six. We're all about changing and impacting lives because we want the best for everyone out there. So we see an opportunity to help people to generate revenue and generate funds for believing in us and believing in our project, that's absolutely something we're going to do. We're always going to do the right thing. So, going into, of course, Mini Pets itself, as you guys know, Mini Pets will be an open world game where you can go in as a character. There'll be characters that we have kind of ourselves. So, I know Bill's a bullfrog. I'm, Rottweiler. We have Eric. He's a rabbit. And, kind of we have our themed characters built within. And, of course, you have your playable characters as well. So, you won't be able to play as, of course, us, but you will have your playable characters. So it could be, say a bulldog or whatever the case may be. There's all kind of pets in there. So you can play as your pet, and the idea is that you're building up your pet. So the idea is that you go in, you go through your journey, you go through, certain quests. You can select to go through certain quests in the different worlds. Of course, the first world that you're going to be in is, Doge City. So going into there and Doge City, Doge World, to where you kind of begin your journey. You begin your journey into mini pets, and we will have outside worlds, and they'll all be themed based on the real world locations. They'll just be called different things. So, anyways, you go into mini pets, you have your character, you create your character, and then you kind of build your character from there. Your character is actually a living NFT, essentially. So, all of the things that you can acquire, which are jobs, of course, XP, which are different outfits, different clothing accessories, all these different things that you can acquire within mini pets as you continue to build your pet and continue to increase their ranking. You can spend that all into an NFT. Of course, you have the pet itself, which is an NFT, and then you have the assets that you acquire, which can be NFTs as well, and all those can be bundled and sold on the NFT marketplace. So therefore, generating transactions and a whole bunch of things that there may be one of one NFTs that someone has that other users can't get on the marketplace, and they're the only person that has it. Well, they can keep that, hold it, they can sell it, they can do all kinds of things with it. So therefore, creating kind of a supply and demand. As you guys know, when supply is high, demand is low. So when you have a low supply of something, the demand is going to be much higher. So therefore, generating a marketplace, generating trading, and those kind of things within mini pets itself. And once again, therefore, going back to that revenue piece to anyone that's invested within mini pets, and in mini Doge will generate revenue from that. So like I said, going into that, and it's just an entire open world game. There'll be games within mini pets that you can play. I know there's like a volleyball game, there's like racing, there's like different games that you can play within mini pets itself. So more like a PvP kind of thing where you can join as a team. You can play against other teams and their pets, and it's all pretty kind of cool stuff in there that will tap into all ages. So you can have your younger generation, you can have your middle, and you can have of course those that are much older but still want to play this game. So we're kind of rated E for everyone essentially is kind of what we're going for, because we want mass adoption of this. So we don't want to limit or have any limitations with it. Which is why one of the main reasons, I know a lot of things, going into the beginning, our project scope, they were talking about like fighting and all that different stuff, but we wanted to kind of keep that separate and out of it. So that way we wouldn't have to worry about kind of, eliminating such a huge culture and a huge demographic when it comes to the game itself. So anything else specific you guys want me to touch on? Do you want me to touch on the token itself, the tokenomics of the token or anything like that, or just the project itself in regards to mini pets and mini Doge?
Correct. So, Devon, first of all, thank you for coming. I didn't have the chance to welcome you. We're proud to have you around. I personally hosted the AMA with Mini Pets. No, well, not really knowing that you guys were related in any way. I would like to know more about this relationship or correlation that Mini Pets has with Mini Doge, directly or indirectly. Is it the same team? Is it, because we didn't get that mentioned last time when we hosted Mini Pets, Stephen? So I'm a little confused right now.
So when you say mini pets, so mini pets is within mini Doge. Mini Doge is the token itself. That's the kind of the ecosystem of everything. Everything is built around and within that. So mini Doge is the token itself. Mini pets is the gaming platform that we're building with mini Doge. So that's the yeah. So that's kind of it's kind of hand in hand, hand in glove. So mini pets is the game itself, and mini Doge is the token that you can buy. You can't buy, mini pets. You can buy, mini Doge tokens. So does that kind of give you clarity on the relations and
Mm,
what's there?
I want to clarify something, Deven, because I think that's the same misunderstanding I had. There is actually a project that has NFTs that is quite powerful too. That unfortunately is using the same name as you guys are using for the game. I don't know if you've seen it around, but
Interesting.
there is a project called Mini Pets doing very well.
Yeah, I
Too.
haven't seen that one. I've heard of a micro pets, but I haven't heard of mini pets.
Yeah,
So
something
um,
along those lines. So I wanted to ask you right now, Deven, if it's not too much asking,
yeah,
a little about the developing of the game. Was this something you guys
absolutely.
had planned from the very beginning since you guys started MiniDOGE, or is it a utility that you guys got to as you grew?
No, the game of Mini Pets itself was definitely in the project scope before we even launched the project itself. It was definitely put on the roadmap. Any project we build, the first thing you do when building a project is, looking at the roadmap, looking at the entirety of the project itself. So, we went into, of course, launching Mini Doge with Mini Pets kind of being at the forefront, knowing the gamification and everybody getting big into gaming. So, and that's a lot of things I'm doing as well as discussion with esports, partners and those kind of things with that's going to be huge for us worldwide. So no, Mini Pets was actually, I mean, went into the Mini Doge kind of world of things from day one before we even launched the token itself. So yeah, that was kind of already built into everything that we're doing here with Mini Doge.
That's brilliant. Okay, okay. Well, Devon, you definitely explained it super well. Everything related to the background too, and now on with the game. I know it is quite a general question, but what growth do you see in Mini Doge? You guys have been a lot higher than what you are right now. Do you
Absolutely.
do you expect to get back to those numbers? Do you expect to break those all-time highs? Is this um, is this a project for you guys that you expect to see in different platforms, as in different exchanges along the time? Tell us a little about your ideas, as in marketing expansion and growth.
Yeah, absolutely. So, when we first launched, of course, Mini Doge, it kind of caught fire, right? Probably more fire than we even expected, but then again, it's best to expect the unexpected. So, we had, I think, our all-time highs of 354 million market cap. I think we got that within 78 hours of launching the project. So, yeah, absolutely. Our goal and idea here is that, this is absolutely going to be something that's, amazing, something that's going to have mass adoption. Like I said, across all demographics, there isn't any group I can see that won't be interested in playing mini pets. So when launching Mini Doge itself, of course, when you're launching Mini Doge, you're marketing the token itself, of course, the project within it, but you can't exactly market mini pets fully yet because, of course, there's a lot of development that's still going in it, still currently, of course, with it still being in development and everything. So once you're able to actually market mini pets itself in regards to a gameplay trailer and actually include the gameplay and all of those things, that's an entirely different side of marketing. That's an entirely different demographic and culture of users that you can market to versus those users that are only around cryptocurrency. Now we can get even tap outside of cryptocurrency potentially to other potential users and people that will then gravitate towards the cryptocurrency space. So that's what I say when I talk about being able to market to everybody and being able to tap into every demographic, whether you're a long-term cryptocurrency investor, whether you're someone that's just getting into crypto. This will kind of give you the opportunity, especially with interest in gaming, the opportunity to kind of learn more and become more of that kind of cryptocurrency culture with a gamification to it. Like I said, of the likes of the Axie Infinity or Wanaka Forms and these other big projects that have huge projects when it comes to gaming itself.
Right. That sounds brilliant. Now I wanted to ask you something that I like to do when it comes to business, which is
Yeah,
analyze the growth and also analyze the drawbacks that you might have as something goes on. As a businessman that I am, whenever I have targeted different businesses, I always like to see the negative sides as well as the positive sides. What do you think has brought such a big decrease in market cap over this time? Has it been lost to hype? Has it been? How would you explain that? Have you guys studied that, and have you guys analyzed why did people not hold that well and brought the project to where it is right now, which is good. I mean, it is at a good point. I wish to have a project like yours, but still, it used to be 10 times higher than this. So what's been the reason for that? Have you guys studied that internally?
Yeah, I mean that's something, and something we realize too is that, you have certain types of investors, right? Especially when you are on the BSC side, with such low, I guess you would call it gas fees, essentially, very minimal, right? So it's easy to get in and get out versus when you look at other chains, like for example, ETH, you have much higher gas fees. So therefore, if you're jumping around, you better be making a lot of, gains on what you've invested in because that gas is going to hit you hard, whether it be 100, 200, $300. So we've definitely studied it. I mean, if you look at some of the biggest projects out there, there isn't always just from the start an uptrend. Now, granted, a lot of projects don't uptrend in the first 3 days to a 350 million plus market cap, and a lot of people just took out profits. Of course, we've learned things along the way, developing relationships that we thought would be positive, building different communities and kind of putting different people in place, for different reasons. There's a lot of bad actors out there, unfortunately, in cryptocurrency. We'd like to think that everyone is good and everyone has good intentions, but sometimes that's just not the case. And sometimes you just don't know it until you're actually in it, right? So that's one of the things we've learned. But any project, if you study the BSC space, if you study some of the largest projects out there, there's always, going to be a huge run up, a little bit of a dip, and then you kind of go from there. So if you study an Axie Infinity, Axie didn't just boom from day one and never went back down. They kind of had a stalling period there for months, where there was no action, very minimal volume, those kind of things. And then eventually, when you kind of get to the point, once again, going back to that marketing piece where you can advertise your tech, and you can actually put out gameplay trailers and those kind of things, absolutely. I think we will get back to and absolutely surpass the market cap that we were even at before. So, and it provides solace knowing that almost every other project out there goes through the same thing. When you're developing the technology and all those things, some projects have much smaller tech pieces, so therefore they're able to create it in one, a much shorter window of time, and two, on much smaller project budgets, right? But when you're dealing a full open world game, of course, there's a lot of financial pieces that goes in with that, and therefore there is a lot of different development that goes into it as well. So development takes time. We want it tomorrow. Everybody will want it today. But at the end of the day, we're getting it done as soon as we can. And there's just a process. And like we always say, it's a marathon, it's not a sprint. So even when we get the tech out, there's going to be continuous development. There may be things that we didn't see before that we now see in something we want to output, even if it's not tech, even if it's something else. There's always going to be further growth within the project, and that's how you keep it going because you never want to plateau, you never want to peak and plateau. You always want to keep steadily going. So that's something that we've studied, something we've looked at, and something that actually kind of inspires us as we continue going, as we continue developing. That one day, eventually, here very soon in the near future, we aren't talking years. We're talking, months at this point. One day in the very near future, when we have that mass adoption, when we're absolutely able to, kick in that full marketing of mini pets itself and the gaming piece and gameplay trailers, and actually have, the game out, where people can come and test it and those kind of things. It's absolutely going to be huge for us in our project as we continue growing. And then you'll see those huge investors. And then, of course, we'll tap into that, those much bigger exchanges as you get into real utility, real mass adoption, like some of these other, huge projects have gotten, but they didn't get it within, a little short period of time. You look at any project out there, it definitely takes time to get there. So we're definitely enjoying the journey. The journey sometimes has some detours, has some hiccups along the way, but at the end of the day, like we always say, the destination for us has never changed, no matter who's came in with ill intentions or anything like that. Any hiccups, any setbacks, any shortcomings, whatever the case may be, that will never stop us. So we know where we're going, and our community knows where we're going as well. So we're just going to continue that process, and we're going to appreciate the process, because one day there'll become a time where we'll sit back and say, you know what, I'm glad we went through what we went through to get to where we're at, because we've learned so much. And sometimes the best education is the one you pay for, right? So that's absolutely our approach to it, and the approach we're taking as we continue moving forward.
That sounds brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. Devon, I love to hear what you said, because I stand by your ethics, your work ethics a lot. I do believe that success takes time, and life is a marathon. You're completely right. Not only business, but life as a whole is a marathon. When you want to get everything quickly, most of the time you just fall, hurt yourself, and then just shy away.
Yeah,
So it
absolutely.
is so good to run slowly but steadily, and that's something you probably didn't even control at the beginning. Your pump was so much in such a little amount of time that literally handling that was so hard.
Yeah,
And
it's kind of like drinking from a fire hose versus drinking out of a water bottle, right? So
correct,
much
correct,
different.
exactly.
Absolutely.
I fully agree, and I feel like you've gotten to a point now where you've been able to have a very stable point where you're just literally viewing the whole future of the project in a much more precise way, and in a much more relaxing way. I do believe that the future of MiniDOGE has yet to be achieved. People think, no, MiniDOGE was like the MiniDOGE back at 300 million. I don't think it's ever going to get back to that. Of course it is. Development, innovation, building of a bigger community, even if it's already huge, but building of new investors, giving a fresh face to the investors too, is going to keep making MiniDOGE grow. So I have no doubts about that, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we talked about a lot of things in regards to the project. A lot of our investors already know about the tokenomics, but if you want to just refreshen their minds about your tokenomics and how you guys are managing the whole
Yeah, did someone else say something? Sorry, I heard something. I'm not 100% sure or not.
not too sure.
Maybe there was.
No,
Okay,
I unmuted myself by accident. Benson usually does most of the questions, so I'm just letting him proceed with it.
got it. Okay. But yeah, so in regards to our tokenomics, of course, we have our 12%, on both sides. Of course, we have our reflection to holders, which is 6%, and then we have our 4% to liquidity, and then we have what is called an auto boost function. And this is something else that I was kind of talking about when you have those bad actors in the beginning, right? So, very early, we were running what we call as auto boost, which we claimed, and we were one of the first auto boost tokenomics tokens, right? So what happens is that every time there's a sale, there's a buyback, right? And then it builds up and it kind of auto boosts itself. The token auto boosts itself, and it swaps tokens at a certain rate at a certain period of time. And early in the process, a lot of people were like, turn off, turn it off, turn it off. Well, what happens is, well, it's still collecting the auto boost is still collecting those tokens, right? So if you're not swapping those tokens just sit there. So therefore, the auto boost gets so heavy. And as you guys know, any project that is swapping tokens or anything, they're swapping to generate either BNB or whatever the case may be, whatever they're pegged with. So whether it's BNB, whether it's USDT, whether it's Ethereum, doesn't matter. When you're swapping your tokens, you're burning those tokens, and then you're generating the BNB for it, right? So allowing you to then perform buybacks and marketing funds and all those different things. Well, when you're not swapping, all of those tokens are just sitting in there. It's kind of like just eating a whole bunch of food in your stomach, and of course, not getting rid of it in any way, shape, or form, right? So eventually, you're just going to build up all that food in your stomach. So that's something that, once again, our project was one of the first to do with that auto boost, kind of, approach to things. And very early, a lot of people were saying, turn it off, turn it off. And of course, we want to make sure that our community, is happy, is satisfied, and that we're doing the best for the project entirely. So we did. We turned it off for a good period of time. Then we turned it back on. We weren't swapping at a natural rate. Essentially. So I believe the day was. Let me see the exact day. And this is where you start to see that upward trend again of MiniDOGE itself. So I think the day that we chose to get back naturally, I think it was the 29th or something like that. I can't remember the exact date it was. Let me see if I can find it here. But virtually what happened was we had about 6 trillion tokens or so that had built up in the auto boost, right? So we decided to swap those tokens. I mean, they were for various reasons, but we decided to swap those tokens. And ever since then, I mean, we've been trending upward, So that's one of those decisions, once again, sometimes that's a decision you don't want to make, but for the health of the project long term, because remember, we're not here for tomorrow. We're not here for next week. We're here for a year from now, 2 years, 3 years, 10 years from now, whatever the case may be. Mini Doge and mini pets will still be in existence then. So those are decisions that we've made. So back to the tokenomics, like I said, you have 12%, 12% on buy, 12% sell. Like I said, 6% goes to the reflections, and then you have your liquidity and of course the buyback and everything itself. So that's the basis of the tokenomics. Of course, as you guys know, we have a 1 quadrillion supply. We've burned, ooh, man, what is the number of tokens we burned now? Let me see if I can pull it up here. So we have burned, let me pull it up here just to give exact numbers. I don't want to keep anyone guessing. Let's see, we have burned about 27.8 percent of the total supply, which is around, I mean, roughly, dollar amount is about $8.4 million. Has actually been burned and everything. So very cool, very great, great project. Like I said, we had, great envisions with it. Of course, like I said, we'd like everything to be done tomorrow at the end of the day, but when you're dealing with technology and you're dealing with gaming and a whole lot of different pieces that go with it, we've learned a lot along the way. And as we continue it, sometimes great thing comes to those who wait, right? So we want to make sure we do it the right way, so that way we don't have to do it twice, because you got to do it twice, it's going to take twice as long, right? So we just want to make sure we continue developing the token and everything, the project with it and everything. Right now we have about 85,000 holders, roughly just a little bit over. So we have about 85,000 holders in our project, sitting at about a 19-20 million market cap. That's just on Pancake, but sitting at about a 20 million market cap. And we are on different exchanges. We have a lot of exchanges that I have lined up that I want to kind of join in with our NFT series that we're going to be launching. So we're going to be launching an NFT series again. The first 10 NFTs that will be launched will be the characters, the first 10 characters within the game. So of course you have myself, I'm a Rottweiler. You have Bill, that's a bullfrog. You have Eric, that's a rabbit. I think Ebony is a squirrel. Our CMO is a squirrel. Then we have like a panda. We have a snake. We have an owl. So there's about 10 characters there. That will be the first series of the NFTs, which would be some of the most rare NFTs. And something cool that we're doing for our holders as well is kind of our holders that have been with us, as they coin themselves, like OG holders. Something pretty cool is we're doing is a special rare NFT for holding, and kind of being that loyal, loyal coin holder that they've been, an investor. So some pretty cool things that we're doing with our project. And like I said, we always want to make sure that we keep the community in mind and at the forefront of any decision that we're making. So we're very excited about everything that we're doing. Like I said, nothing has stopped us, nothing has deterred us or anything like that. We're going to keep doing what we're doing. As we continue, it's not going to be just a cakewalk. Even when Mini Pets is out, it's not going to be a cakewalk. There's always going to be a journey to go, and a road to travel. So we're just going to continue traveling down that road. And, like I said, I hope everyone here who is invested or is invested will definitely give it a look, take a look at it, and definitely, make a financial decision, based on, of course, your own DYOR, as you guys call it. So, yeah, absolutely.
Completely right. Completely right. 100% agree with that. I think you guys are at a point right now where growth is imminent. Like, growth is there. So, if I were to invest now in Mini Doge, I would definitely do it. The team behind it is powerful, professional. It's been a long time. And with that, with the fact that you have been working on it for such a long time. The last question that I had for you, Devon, is if
Yeah.
you could tell us some of the biggest hardships that you've gone through as a team, and let's say some of the biggest satisfactions that you've gotten from the whole project. That'd be lovely. We don't usually get to talk to people that has run projects for such a long time, since people that join here are usually coming with their new projects. They usually come here with mostly their new projects to get some attention. So talking to someone like you, I'd love to know the experience behind it. I think we can definitely learn a lot from it.
I guess the biggest setback is just going back to in cryptocurrency. You have a lot of people. No one is really kind of front faced. Essentially, like of course our team is, meaning kind of out there. Even yourself. Like right now being on a video camera, that is huge in crypto. You rarely see that. Everyone's just behind a microphone or a keyboard, and you don't know their name. Is John really John? Is Sarah really Sarah? What are their actual true intentions? So we've had some setbacks in regards to doing things and decisions we've made that we thought were in the best intention, and we thought those people that were on the other side of things were had the best intentions for us as well, but that turned out to be false. So the biggest thing is to, of course, continue to, even for us, do our own research, continue to learn from our mistakes, and continue to not make those same mistakes twice, which is one of the things we've always said. So even dealing with exchanges and things of that nature, you definitely have to be cautious and careful with anything that you do and anything that we do with that, because we know there's a lot of bad actors out there, and a lot of people. It's easy to throw up a profile and put in a name and put in a picture and say, hey, whoever, and do you really believe them, those kind of things. So I've definitely learned, dealing with a lot of partnerships, dealing with a lot of I guess you call high profile and very expensive deals, when it comes to contracts and those kind of things, is knowing to make sure that absolutely you're talking to that the right person. One, and you've done the verification and due diligence just to make sure you are talking to that person. um, One of the biggest, hoorays is, I mean, the biggest thing is the fact that, in 3 days, hitting the 350 million plus market cap is huge. But also, even though we print it down, like I said, the biggest thing for us is knowing that we are still here. We are still doing everything they say we will do. No one, tucked in, and just kind of say, oh, it is what it is. No, that has never been a thought in the mind of any person on our team. We know where we're going. We say it every single day. Anyone that comes into us, anyone that steps into our building knows that we're 100% authentic, 100% genuine in everything that we do. So the biggest thing is that knowing what's to come. You always talk about, it's still early. Yeah, it's very early. It's very early right now. And, you could consider this almost, well, I won't call it the ground floor as the term they use, but very, very, very early in a project, even though it's been, a couple months now. I think it's been, what, 3, 4 months now. It's still very early in the market cap we're at now. When we're talking about 3, 4, 5 months from now, we'll be having an entirely different conversation. I guarantee it. So, still very early, and knowing where we're going and knowing the marathon that we're running, we're absolutely enjoying it. And one thing about it is at the end of the day, if you enjoy doing something, it's the right thing. So that's one thing about us, is we absolutely enjoy every single second, every single moment that we share together. Like I said, whether it be good, whether it be bad, we use every negative as a positive, because it's only going to propel us further as we continue going in life. So yeah, so that's the biggest loss, I guess you would call it. I don't really look at life as having losses. Of course, it's a lesson, but a loss is only a loss if you make it. I look at it as a rebound. It's not about how many times you get knocked down. It's about how many times you get up, right? So at the end of the day, we're always going to get up and we're going to stand on our feet. And it doesn't matter who's in the way or what their intentions are, whatever the case may be. We're going to do always what we say we will do, and uphold true to our core values, for ourselves and, of course, our investors and anyone else out there.
Great, yeah. I do take those. I wanted to just ask you that because I do take those as lessons, and being in this space for so long, and having just like a chat with you, like
Hmm.
friend, I wanted to just know, what have you been through, and see if I could correlate to what I've been through being in the industry
Absolutely.
for such a long time. So lovely, Devin. I think we had a great chat. I'm not gonna bother you with any more questions, but we're gonna get now with the investor questions. I'm sure they have a lot
Yeah,
of
of
questions
course.
to ask you, and as well as they were very excited having you and having MiniDOGE. I think this is a very loved project, um, overall in the BSC. So everyone got excited when we told them, and let's get them the chance to ask you questions. So
Yeah, let's get them on here. I'm ready.
we're gonna get with Holy. She was the last one to click. Holy.
Hi guys. So quick
Hey, how
question
are
for
you?
Mini Doge. I'm good. How are you? Let me
Doing
be
wonderful.
proper.
Thanks for asking.
No problem. So my question was, I know you guys are developing mini pets, and of course that seems like a very strenuous development job. So my concern is, I know you guys have one game that is out, kind of like a Candy Crush. I was looking at it on the iPhone, and it doesn't seem to have too much activity right now. And you guys are also developing Mahjong and planning to release more games. So my question is, how many games are you planning to release before releasing mini pets, with mini pets being the priority? And kind of on top of that, do you guys see yourself stopping with other game development until you have mini pets out?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. And one of the biggest things is always focus, right? So, as you said, of course, we have Mini Crush out on Android, on Google Play, as well as the iOS App Store. We also have Mahjong that is out on Google Play, still in the process of getting that out on the iOS store as well. And then, of course, we still have other games, like I think our next one will be Mini Blasters or Mini Those Blasters or something like that. It kind of like an Angry Birds themed game. So, those will continue to come. As far as how many, relative to maybe 5 to 8, somewhere around that range. Hopefully, prior to mini pets getting out. But like I said, the biggest thing is always focus, right? So our biggest focus is, of course, right now NFTs as well as mini pets. Getting all that, continuing the process and development of that to getting that out as soon as possible. Because, like I said, we want it as soon as possible. So I wish I could have it right now, but of course, there's a process and a journey to travel. So and during that process as we continue with our Unity guys and everything, we will continue to produce and output those games. Hopefully we will continue to put them out at a much faster pace. I know with Mini Crush we're going to do a full reskin, and we're going to do a full 100 plus more levels, and much more difficult than they were originally. So there's a lot of things we're doing there, as well as of course Mahjong, and then with the blasters and everything will be a full reskin and rebuild, kind of. So we'll continue that journey, and we'll continue informing our community and everyone as we continue to release those things. But of course, the NFTs and mini pets for us is at the forefront of our attention and everything that we're doing.
Thank you for that. I do have another one, but I'm not going to ask it. I want to give the community time. I'll ask you in the chat. So thank you, Devin. Thank you, Benson. See you guys next
Awesome.
time.
Thank you so
You
much,
too. Thank
Holy.
you.
Thank you. Let's get on. I'm not sure if Jacob's got a question tonight. Jacob Staples. Hello.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Wonderfully.
Hey, I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for asking.
Oh,
How are
been
you?
really excited about this, and I'm doing great. I had actually my first questions were about the auto boost system, but you really explained those quite well, so you already answered all those. So I guess I've got just like two questions, and I'll make them really quick so everybody else can get a chance
Hmm.
to talk. The first one is about the mini pet marketplace, and was that going to be its own unique site where you can buy the mini pets, and are they going to be sold for MiniDOGE, and what would the price point be once they grow up and you want to sell your pets?
So within the mini pets game itself, you'll collect what is called minis, and minis, of course, will be, which is really, really, really huge as far as the conversion rate of minis to, of course, mini dose tokens itself, is a huge partner that I'm, working on, and I will, we will get finalized when the time comes. Is being able to consistently and accurately reflect the price because right now, of course, when you're looking at a market cap on Coin Market Cap, Coin Gecko, you're looking at all these different places. You got prices from a bunch of all of our exchanges, Pancake Swap, and everything. So when you're in the game, you'll have your minis. Those minis, certain amount of minis can convert over to X amount of mini Doge tokens. So in regards to the marketplace itself, yes, we'll have the marketplace within the game itself. You can go into the marketplace. You can buy with those minis. You can buy, whatever certain NFT. You can buy a certain asset. You can buy a certain boost. You can buy energy. Just a whole bunch of things that you can buy within it. But you'll be buying it with minis, which you will convert inside of the app from your mini Doge tokens, or you'll purchase minis within the application itself. Of course, in your fiat, whichever that your country or whatever you utilize. And then, of course, you'll be able to convert through Doge X. You'll be able to convert things, other currencies and cryptos and those kind of things as well into, of course, mini Doge tokens. And then, of course, in the game itself, converting those into minis. So does that answer your question accurately with everything?
Yes, that's great for that. Yeah, thank you very much. And the other quick question I had was about the coin payments. You've integrated with coin payments, I read.
Yes.
And I didn't know if you could give us just a taste of what merchants will be accepting mini Doge once.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of merchants already accepting them. So what you have to do, and I don't have an exact list in front of me. Coin Payments has, their relationships with their merchants and a long list of them, right? So I know you go to Coin Payments and you go to see, which merchants they have. I know it's purple, but I think what you're looking for when you're on a merchant site is what is called Pay. PAY, I believe it is, and I believe you click that, and you're able to connect your cryptocurrency wallet, and you're able to pay with those mini Doge tokens, or whatever token that you have that is held. But of course, we're talking about mini Doge right now, so you're able to pay with mini Doge and get real world items through that, and as well as continuing our real world utility, with partnerships and those kind of things. So that's definitely something that's definitely on my list, and I'm continuing talks as we continue the mass adoption and get into the mini pets and gamification. And like I said, the real world use case of mini Doge and mini pets. That's definitely something that will continue to grow and expand with other merchants. Another partner that I'm finalizing, a huge deal with. It's actually a partner that is a, kind of peer to peer, processing of payments and those kind of things, that one of the largest, in, the entire world. So that'll be definitely a huge partnership and a staple for us as we continue the real world utility case for, of course, mini Doge and all of the platforms within it.
All right, cool. Thank you guys so much. And I just want to say it's a great project. I love how you guys are helping with charities with animals and everything like that. And I want to thank you for the time.
Absolutely. We appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jacob.
Thank you, Jacob. Love seeing you around. Let's get Grossum 31. Hi, Grossum. How is it going?
Hey, how you doing? What I wanted to ask was the way the blockchain is progressing, and parallel in that way, real world technology. Are you, and the gamification of crypto, are you hoping at some point to take advantage of augmented reality?
Well, first and foremost, hey, Grassam, how are you? Hope everything is going well. So just to reiterate the question, just so I answer it accurately, are you talking about VR, AR, that kind of thing?
Yes, augmented reality.
Well, I'm glad you say that. The answer is absolutely yes. So absolutely, the game itself, as we continue developing, that's not going to be in the first phase of the game, but absolutely is discussions and in discussions with people longer, brands and merchants down the road that we will utilize, for example, to connect with VR goggles and those kind of things will absolutely be done here. Not at the forefront right now, but conversations and talks are happening, and that is something that we'll develop, and not even develop, but release as we continue developing, of course, the game itself and those other pieces shortly after, into our the cryptocurrency world and the gaming world with mini pets. So absolutely yes, that is definitely something when it comes to augmented reality and virtual reality that is going to be utilized here in the future of our development with mini pets.
Excellent. That's all I wanted to know. Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Let's jump into another question with Code. We got Code in here. Hey, Code.
Yeah, I was just stopping by. Somebody already asked one of the questions that I was going to ask, but I just wanted to go ahead and say that it's a good AMA, and you guys already answered my question. Thanks.
Awesome, and I appreciate the lungs, man. Those look so awesome.
Cheers, brother. Let's get on with one last question, okay, Devon, so that I don't take too much off your time.
Hey, you have my time as much as you need it. I'm here for it. So.
That's lovely. That's lovely. We're gonna get Stefano on track. Hey, Stefano.
Hey, hello. Sorry, I was in the kitchen.
No problem.
What are you cooking over there, man? I'm kind of starving myself.
No. I was just eating some biscuits. It's kind of late here, near midnight.
Get us some pizzas from Italy, Stefano.
Maybe tomorrow. I will see that.
Okay. I'll hold you up on that now. I'm gonna write down your username. I'll be reaching out. All right.
All right. I will send you some slices.
Awesome.
I like your project, as Jacob said before, because in addition to having the classic feature that many projects now have, like NFTs, games, etc., I've read that it's possible to make a donation to help animals in need or without a home. Can you explain better how this works, and if you have any improvements for the future about it?
So I'm trying to so can you ask the question to me one more time? Are you talking about donations and charities we will donate to, or our cause, or what exactly is the question, so I can answer it appropriately?
How you donate to the charity?
So the process of donating to them?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And,
so I know that.
And if holders can donate too.
Yeah, absolutely. I know that's something that we're definitely going to get out in our version 2 of our website, which is still in development and will be coming out of here very, very, very soon. With version 2 of our site is being able to have the holders, donate to a certain wallet address and utilizing that address as well, which will show up on the site, kind of how much is in there. And we can set certain milestones, and, we can have a, governance kind of piece with, the community voting on what exactly the charity they want to go to. Of course, our first donation was to Hope for Paws. So that's something we kind of, internally had going originally. And of course, down the future, as we continue development, of course, getting more and more partners, developing to certain causes and those kind of things that happen in the real world. And of course, dealing with pets themselves and everything, all the things out there that happen, of course, with rescue animals and those kind of things is definitely something we're huge about with this project. So that'll definitely be something. And the process of that is just, contacting that charity, getting their information. Of course, cryptocurrency is new to a lot of people, but the good thing is a lot of charities do accept and have adopted it. So that's just the process, is getting in touch with them, letting them know, and getting that information. A lot of charities do have that posted publicly. So we just reach out to them just to give them a heads up. So just in case they see a huge, $100,000, $200,000 donation, they aren't like, what the heck? They kind of expect it to be coming. And, we just kind of go from there and develop partnerships and, real conversations with them. And we even ask if there are future, projects and outreaches that we can assist with, that we can kind of set milestones and stuff for our community to reach and say, hey, they want us to reach this certain amount. Let's get the community behind it, and let's get sharing this information, and let's try to help this cause. So. Does that answer the question?
Yeah. Thank you. This thing does you honor, because a few projects do this thing, and I think that chapeau.
Absolutely, yeah. We definitely want to donate to causes and real world relations with our investors themselves. So we wouldn't be here without any of our investors, right? So we definitely want to make sure they have a kind of a hand in the pot when it comes to those kind of decisions. So.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you, Benson.
Thank you, Stefano. Great. Let's get one more question from Maddie. Maddie, you got the word. If you have anything to ask, you can do it now. Maybe she doesn't. Okay, you lost the chance, Maddie. Let's get Joshua on the mic. Joshua, hello there. Or Joshua probably lost connection. We're being lucky with these questions. Let's get Buzzy.
Like I said, you got me. So, have them ask away.
Hey, Buzzy.
Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Hey, what's up, Buzzy?
Hey, I got one question. Can you elaborate on how the free NFT is coming to our wallets and when this will be? And a lot of holders asked over in chat the other day, how long do we have to been holding this? And I told them I thought if you was a holder from October the 15th. Is that correct?
So good question. There's a couple pieces to that and a couple NFTs I think I alluded to on our last AMA actually is that we'll have NFTs in regards to our day one holders that have never sold anything. There'll be NFTs, in regards to holders on a set date. I can't remember off the top of my head. October 15th sounds familiar, but I'm not 100% sure, so I can't 100% confirm it right now. But I know you'll be holding a certain amount on a certain date. And you'll get an NFT for that as well. How those will be sent is, again, a cool thing with the partnership that I'm, finalizing is that those NFTs will be sent. So there's two different ways to do things. You do it off the chain, as they call it, and on the chain. On the chain is real world verification. There is no question as in regards to the, authenticity. So, for example, people off the chain, through their contract and everything, can send a certain NFT to a certain wallet address and can say it was randomly generated, right? Well, through this partner is where we can do everything on the chain, real world, blockchain verified, and everything to where there is no potential manipulation and human interaction for this. So that process will take place here. Soon as we continue developing and releasing those, characters themselves, and as we get geared up for those NFTs to be released here in the coming weeks, is something that will be done and that'll be communicated effectively to the community for that process. So whether that'll be, like I said, an auto send, or whether it's just sent to you guys and you guys are notified of it, or whether it's some sort of claim feature that we implement onto our website version 2.0, that'll be determined and discussed. Both options are being discussed, but that'll be discussed, and communicated effectively to everyone once that is 100% been finalized. If that makes sense for you.
It does, and congratulations to you guys. You're all doing an awesome job. I hold MiniDOGE, love it, and I wish us all the best of luck with it.
Absolutely, we appreciate you, all your support, and keep holding because one day here in the very near future, it'll be one of the best decisions you've made. So,
thank you.
Thank you, Buzzy.
Here's Buzzy. Lovely questions round. Dave, and I want to really, really thank you for your time. You killed it. You know what you're talking about, that's for sure. MiniDOGE is clearly a master project. I was just saying it even before you were here. I think you were not here yet. I was saying that I consider MiniDOGE to be probably like I'd say a top 5 BSC projects throughout the whole BSC history, as in how well you guys have held as well throughout the whole process of development. Looking at other projects that were huge and have slowly died, like Bonfire, which I was part of, it's to admire, honestly, Deven, and I want to thank you and your team for being so good. With that said, if you want to say something else just to round it up, you can go for it now.
Absolutely. Like I said, I can't thank you enough for, having, myself and, our other team members here as well as those kind words. Like I said, it's not easy. If it was easy, anybody can do it, right? But we definitely enjoy the nature of everything. And like I said, we take the scrapes on the elbow, we take the punches and roll with them, right? So we'll continue to have, hiccups, bumps in the road, detours. But, that's one thing about us. I heard you reference another project. I'm not sure exactly, what their goals are now, or if those goals have changed. But one thing about us is our goals will never change. The end goal for us is, to have mass adoptions and to bring, of course, real world use case and utility for MiniDOGE. We will not stop till we get there. And even when we get there, we still won't stop because there's always going to be more, and that's one thing about something when you love it and you're passionate about it, you're never satisfied and you're never content. So we definitely don't sleep. We won't sleep, and we won't ever sleep at night until we know that we've done everything in our power and we've delivered on everything that we've said. So, and like I said, even when we get there, we still won't sleep. So we appreciate the time. I appreciate all the great questions. You guys need anything, please come into our community channel over at MiniDOGE. I'm very excited. We have channels for multiple different, nationalities and, countries and everything. I know we have China, we have in Italy, we have in Indonesia, we have, of course, our English US based community. We have communities for any language out there. And if we don't have one, go in there and let us know you need to get a community for this, because we're about to make this project boom. So make sure you guys check it out. Like I said, do your own research. Make sure you make the best decisions for you. We never want to give financial advice to anyone, but definitely, there's a team behind this that you can trust, a team that is front face, and a team that will not stop until we get there. So hopefully provide some solace in that in all that we do and as we continue development. And like I said, it's always a marathon. It's never a sprint, but we're definitely enjoying this entire process.
Lovely. Dave, I respect all that you do, and as I said before, best of luck. Keep going. And guys, here you had it. MiniDOGE. Much respect, much appreciation, and you have their links right there to join. For those that never heard of it, huge project with huge aspirations and a huge future ahead. For those that already knew, it is bringing a lot of new things. It is bringing a lot of innovation, and growth is imminent, in my opinion. So definitely do take another look at it if you're not a holder. And with that said, Devin, thank you so much. It was my pleasure. It was the pleasure of AMA Central. I'm sure everyone had a great time listening to you, and I hope to see you more often. We'll keep in touch anyways, okay?
Absolutely. And hey, the pleasure is all mine. Thank you guys for having us. We appreciate it. And anytime you need me or any one of our team members, our CEO, anybody in here, then feel free to reach out and we will be here when you need us.
Thank you so much, Steve, lovely.
Awesome.
Great one. Have a good day.
Thank you. You as well.
Cheers. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for participating, guys. Travladd has just messaged me in private. We got the $1,000 winner, and I'm going to be copying and pasting his message. So thank you for assisting, and I will see you guys in our next AMA at AMA Central. Take care. Bye-bye.